Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
I thought you were avocado.
I mean...
She loves avocados. And I'm cpredmor on Ravelry and Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And my new grow pot has lettuce growing out of 3 of them sprouted this week and went nuts. So we're actually going to be harvesting some of that lettuce this week.
Good.
3 of them did nothing. So they've been taken out and 3 new ones have been put in. So we're going to be able to have lettuce salads like crazy. So what's new?
Nothing much. I'm making masks for the event that I'm going to next weekend and losing my mind doing so.
We won't be broadcasting next weekend.
And we might be figuring out something for the weekend after.
Right. Because she's going to quarantine after. Actually, the rules have just changed.
Well, we're going to see.
We're going to see. Because the rules have changed for New York because of the upcoming holidays and the fact that so many people from Connecticut and New Jersey work in New York. And their rates have gone up, and yet the governor says we really can't keep people away from their jobs en masse, which I understand. We are a tri-state hub. So what has been changed to now is just almost constant testing, and then, of course, once you test positive, then quarantining. And traveling, it's take a test now, go to the place, take a test when you get back, and then I think take another test in 5 days, something like that. So kind of covering it that way.
Take a test before you leave, take a test when you get back, or take a test on the 4th day of your return. So you get back. You go, come back. You spend 3 days in quarantine. You get tested on the 4th day. Then if that is negative, you quarantine for another 3 days, I think. Something like that. And then, so...
Another test.
Right. So, we'll see what,
I just looked up going to the Bahamas. Not because we're looking at boats, and there's one that looks interesting down the Bahamas. And on November 4th, the 4th or 5th, they're changing their entrance policy to having a COVID test within the 5 days before flying down. If you stayed for more than 24 hours, then you need another test, I guess, on the 5th day that you're there. And then, of course, then you have to do it with New York when you get home, which is another test. It makes your nose itch. But really, other than that, I mean, I can remember for 5 minutes or so. It's really not such a big deal.
So we will not be recording next week because I will be traveling back from the event.
The following week, we should have something together.
We might end up doing it a day or two late. I might come out after work or something, depending on when I am able to be tested and the results of that test.
Right, and then we'll be back on track until I do something stupid.
Well, and I am being extremely cautious with all of this.
Yes.
I am...
And we appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it.
I am very nervous about this, but it is something that I agreed to do over a year and a half ago. And so I feel that, as long as they are respectful of my boundaries, and I'm respectful of theirs, then we are good.
The only part of the wedding party was eating outside, but,
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
So we're just gonna go with it.
We're gonna go.
But speaking of, these are 3 almost finished ones. I have a total of 6 of this and this one. Almost finished. They need to be top stitched. And then I made 1 more of these. I have 6 of these cut out, but I want to try it on with the dress for the event to see which ones coordinate best. I also cut 6 of this pattern, but I think it's a little too busy with the dress now that I've seen it. Cut out. So I might be coming over some other day this week
now that we fixed the bottom winder.
Now that we fixed the bottom winder, and because my machine, I don't know either.
Usually you hold it.
I did, and it just didn't. It just was a mess. You also need
to put it in the threaders, all the threaders right before you start, because I've done it myself. If the thread leading from the bobbin is leading from the main spool is not through the threaders
Oh.
and taut
Okay.
when you start. Then it'll behave itself. Otherwise, it flies all over.
Well, and my machine, my featherweight, well, Grandma's featherweight, Nana's featherweight, is in the shop because I screwed up the timing on that, doing a mask.
It was a bobbin issue. Bobbins on featherweights are rather easy to discombobulate. One, there's their age, which this one is 67 years old.
Yes.
And so it's getting to be a little tender. And the bobbins on these are just really easy to kind of get a little bit out of whack. So, you know, we have a shop that will repair just about any sewing machine you bring to it. It'll get fixed. It's just not in her hands at the moment.
Yep, I finally brought it over to the shop yesterday. So hopefully that will get in my hands before I leave. But if not, that's okay.
When you get back.
When I get back is fine too.
So, you want to see what I've been working on?
Yeah, what have you been working on?
Well, should we talk about that later?
We can talk about that later because that has discussions.
Yes, well, I agree with you. I was hoping it would be dry by now.
It is not.
So we can put it in the washer and dry. It's machine washable. Yeah. So here's my sweater.
Your crazy stripes?
My crazy striped sweater. I have one finished sleeve. I know I said I was going to do the sleeves 2 at a time, but the yarn was just getting out of hand. And
with the stripes.
Yeah, I'm swapping the yarn every 5th row. Mm-hmm. There's 4 rows of each color. Mm-hmm. And I looked like I was being tied to a tree downstairs. So I said, I just can't do this. So by finishing one sleeve, it has made the second sleeve so much easier to work with. I've also clipped the yarn for the body to the body, so it's not wandering around aimlessly. I love how this feels. Feel this.
Well, it's alpaca.
Isn't it wonderful? Mm-hmm. Oh. So this is moving along. If the new clue for the slip
stitch extravaganza.
I think it's just slip extravaganza. Hadn't come out on Friday. If I'd had it one more day, I would have had this as a finished sleeve because I was really trucking along on it. So I'm really happy with this. This, however, may get its finished sleeve and not much more. Or it may need a day a week that I focus on it because now I have oversubscribed myself with Christmas presents.
You did it to yourself.
I did it to myself. My mother has no idea what I'm planning to make for her, so this is all in my own head. We know about my mom's mittens, which are the thrummed mittens, and I have done no work on these, so we will finish the slip extravaganza, then we will do the sleeve on this, and then focus on my mom's mittens, which I think it's a day a mitten.
Probably.
Maybe. So then this should take only about 2 days, and then it'll be done. Mm-hmm. I had been toying with making her pot holders.
Yes.
But instead...
Are we now admitting the crazy that we did this afternoon?
I haven't bought anything.
No, but...
Wait till I tell you what I did buy.
Oh my god.
So, I think you all remember I had gotten these Christmas ornaments that are counter cross stitch.
Yes.
So, I like pot holders because they're pretty and they're useful.
Right.
My mother really likes things that are not quite as useful.
Yes.
So, I'm going to pick one of these out and I'm going to counter cross stitch it up for her and she'll get a counter cross stitch Christmas ornament for Christmas.
Oh,
so
good.
this and the gloves, and she'll probably use the Christmas ornament more than she'll use the gloves, but that's the way it goes.
That's how it goes.
I did call her yesterday to remind her to turn the clock back.
Good.
We had quite a discussion of back versus forward, so I'm hoping it went in the right direction. Either way, one of my brothers will be there this week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, he's been showing about once a week.
Okay, that's
good. So that
is
is good. And he'll get her clocks going in the right direction if they're not already. So there's this as Christmas presents. So then I did mention do you want to talk about what you're working on?
So what I'm working on is my test knit I'm into the third pattern. I am currently on row 42 of, so I have to go to 58, and then or 57, and then I skip to row 78. So I have so I'm on 42. I have 15 more rows until I skip to the end, which is another 3. So I've got 20 more rows. This is the full width of the body before you take the sleeves off. So once I hit those 20 rows, I will take off the sleeves and I will send a photo in and get the next part of the pattern.
Very nice.
I think
I love this.
Thank you. I do too. Like it's not our typical
subtle.
colors.
It's very subtle.
But it's also not our typical. It's also not subtle at the same time. Like,
well, no, but the difference in the colors is
yes.
subtle.
So I think it's really gonna be lovely.
I don't think it would look good on me at all. My two-tone hair.
I think it would. But I think
the only thing that would make that worse is if it were pink and green at the same time.
Oh. So what I'm thinking is that I will probably do the sleeves one at a time, even though I don't like doing that because they are completely color work as well.
Yeah, and it may be like mine, which I wouldn't necessarily call stripes color work.
They're completely color work.
But it's the yarn that just gets. I was really getting tied up in knots, and it's just, and it was wrapping around the body, and it was doing all these other things. And I think of myself as an accomplished knitter, but.
And as the pattern states that the sleeves should be 16 inches from the underarm. But the depth of the body, like from the front yoke depth, as she puts it, is 9 inches.
Which is long. Which is
really quite long. So I could be able to do these and make them as per pattern and just follow pattern completely.
And be fine.
And not worry about having 2 different length sleeves. Which is always my concern. But with color work, and especially this patterned out color work.
What's the cuff look like?
The cuff is just, I mean, I can take to the cuff, and then I can just do the cuff.
Yeah, I mean, and then once you're done, you can fix the cuff later.
Yeah, I can always put a waist yarn in for the cuff and do the cuff after everything. Yeah. My only concern is that
I'm also concerned about the length of the arms.
Yeah, I think that with this one though, having them be a bit long will look
That'll be fine. I'm thinking long enough.
Right, but I'm also thinking about the comment you had on my Pixelated, but I think the Pixelated might be more fitted in general.
Right. Okay.
And I think because it's not an all-over color work, there's something about an all-over color work, I think, for this sweater, that if it goes long, it's okay because everything is.
I think
just
that's
so
fine.
long.
I just want to make sure the sleeves are long enough.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can always expand the
cuff.
The cuff.
Yeah. So my biggest concern is that first color, I don't technically have enough yarn. So
great.
Yeah. So you use it one more time, once in the sleeves and then once in the body. I'm going to use it in the sleeves first. And then I'm going to find yarn in my stash that coordinates enough to do the body.
Okay.
Because you know what? It's a test knit, and also the sleeves are over here, and the bodies, we'll make it work.
It'll be close enough.
Yeah. So that's what I've been working on. I'm debating. I don't think this is going to come with me on my travels at this coming up weekend, because it is multiple balls of yarn.
Yeah. Maybe plain vanilla.
Though I was thinking of bringing Slipstravaganza. Because it's one thing, it is multiple balls of yarn, but it's one thing.
And it's like one at a time.
Well, and it's, it all currently fits in
a bag.
In this bag, and I can squish it.
Yes, absolutely. That's possible.
Yeah.
Either that or pants for the pants. For
oh my god, you are obsessed with these pants for the little one. Well, I was thinking also of picking up a sweater for her. That I have planned. So we'll see. But so I've been working on the test knit. What else have you been working on?
I've been working on the Slipstravaganza, which
I
would be able to open up, except my daughter didn't tell me we were going to be taping right now.
I'm sorry.
So I started a new row because she said, you really should work on that.
Well,
Hold
you
on.
were like, I'm sitting here reading, maybe,
Yes.
and then like, oh, well, maybe I should work on this.
I know. I had stopped for dinner. I know what I can do. I can put all these stitches on this one needle, and then I will hold it up for you. I have started on clue 4, which is part 6.
Yeah, it's the border.
Right. And I fully intend at this moment to do all 6 of the color layers.
Okay.
So it's 6 color layers, and then each one is edged in your main color.
Right.
So there's 6 of the contrasting colors. I assume that we use each one of the contrasting colors twice. And then, as I say, I have my main color, which for me is a dark gray, is edging the colors.
Yeah.
And Steven says it's going to be a schlanket. You know, this doesn't look to me like it's a schlanket yet, but
it's going to be huge, Mom. So
once it blocks.
Well, also think about this. That's just your middle depth, and you're only 2 stripes in.
So this is what it looks like, and I am so happy with the colors.
It's very nautical.
I love it.
I do. I think it'll be great.
I think it'll be great on the boat.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good on the boat.
Can get really cold by the water. So this is. I thought you were holding it up.
I was.
So this is the part that is part 6. This color. So first it's the black that outlines the triangles, and then this color is my color 1. This is my color 2. I've got 3 more rows to do on my color 2, and then that will be the gray. So my plan at this point is to finish this week.
Good.
This will be done.
I have mine too.
Yes.
Mine. I'm in the section. I'm in clue 3. I think. No, clue 2. Yeah, I'm in clue 2, section 3.
Right. That's this.
Yeah.
So she's in the what he calls the honeycomb part.
Yeah. I'm in that section.
So, I love it. I am so pleased with the colors, and for me right now, the bigger the better, because it would be good as a lap blanket or a whole body blanket on the sofa or on the boat or anything else. Update on my knee. My knee is feeling really good for having been ripped apart. I can almost go up and down the stairs with either foot, almost. By next week, I think it will be either foot. So the stretching is doing really well. They're just starting me now with weights to try to build up strength. So along with the flexibility, the strength. So I am very much convinced that by next summer, I'll be able to put that foot down and have confidence that it will do what I tell it to do.
Good.
Instead of buckling or doing these little zits. of pain through it. So I'm really, really pleased at the whole thing. So I have been working on this.
Yeah, so we've been doing our mystery knit alongs.
Yes.
And then as I've mentioned a few times during this podcast, I've been working on, last week, as you saw, I finished the sleeves, as I already showed.
I love it.
And so I just finished the solid section of the waist. So then I do a 4 or 5 row section of a hip increase, and then I start the blend into the yellow for the body.
You could take that or the slip stravaganza.
Yeah, I might pack this in my
I don't know
suitcase.
how busy you're going to be.
I don't either, but Sunday isn't going to be that busy, but I have a late flight. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, I talked to you about my mom's Christmas present. Do you want to get to my account and then find my library?
What do you want to find?
The pants that I just added in. So, we talked about the free for a limited time patterns. Well, I looked at them today, and there is a pattern for toddler knitted pants. And it's a part of a 3 pattern set. I already have the cardigan pattern when that came out. She started, I think, with the jumpsuit. And is that my library? Oh,
No,
you're trying
I'm
to find
trying
me.
to
There I
find
am.
you.
So anyway, there's a jumpsuit, there's a cardigan, and now there are all these pull-on pants. And I just thought they were adorable. So I thought for my grandniece, they would be a wonderful thing. Can you under recent?
By date added. No, I don't see it here.
I don't see it there either. All right. So anyway.
Do we know what they were called?
No, we don't. You have to go into the free for a limited time. There.
Or
down here.
We do this because that works too. So y'all
there they are, Jayden pants.
Okay, there we go.
So they're the Jayden pants, Jayden, and it'll take one skein. Yes,
of sport.
Of sport. This is fingering. So we're going to do a gauge swatch.
Yes.
And see what my gauge is, and then we figured that for my grandniece, the 12 to 18 months pattern would be a good size for this winter.
I thought you said 6 to 12.
No, the 12 to 18, and then there's an 18 to 24.
Oh.
I think I'll end up making the 18 to 24, but with fingering.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan here. But I will do a gauge swatch, and we will figure that out. So that's another Christmas present. This is for the child who already has Olivia.
This is for the child who is going to be inundated with all of the knitwear for the next, I'd say 40 years of her life. And
then you all may remember this. This is my Rivel sweater. It's a black, if I can find the top. Here it is. It's my black cardigan. And yes, it is so black you can barely see all the patterning.
It's beautiful,
that is in it.
I can see it being up close to it.
There's a center cable down the back. There's beautiful cables up the front. And yes, it's finished. So you're probably thinking, why am I bringing this out? So this morning, How do you spell it? Rivel.
Is it
Rival, I believe.
Oh.
No. Well, we'll figure out what the name is.
You keep talking.
I'll keep talking. There's a picture of it down in Avalon.
Okay.
I was done Memorial Weekend, and I took pictures at Avalon. So it was a spring project. It was spring something, maybe 16. Not sure. Anyway, so I bring this up because I sent notes to my nieces and my nephew about Christmas, saying we're not going to be able to get together for Thanksgiving, which is when we usually, get together and think about what are we doing for Christmas in terms of presents, etc. There it is.
Yeah, Rival. Okay.
Right? Oh, the EL. And my nephew said he didn't know what he wanted yet for Christmas. So that's fine. Just note to let you know that I miss you and I love you.
Yada, yada, yada.
And, think about it. My youngest niece came back to me immediately and said, I'd like to have a duster. And, of course, my mind went to my Victorian
coat
dressing gown.
Yeah, so did mine.
And then she said, but I only want it to be about, just below my hip. And I went, well, the dressing gown will drown her.
See, whereas I was like, oh, so you want like a long coat. Okay.
Well, she said not quite that long.
That's okay.
Because she's little.
She is.
She's
petite.
Yeah, compact. Because she's not short anymore.
I mean, she's shorter than me, but not by, but
yeah. Maybe like 5'6", 5.
Yeah.
I think she's taller than her sister.
Yeah, I think she's 5'6". Yeah.
I think she's 5'6". So she's not itsy, but she is delicate.
Yeah.
This is the woman who went to the Borneo rainforest to study poisonous frogs. But
yes.
Anyway, so she said she wants a duster. So I started sending some pictures of patterns that I had in my library.
And of course, I have no doubt my cousin said this, and in a, like, you can buy one for me kind of way.
But I'm sitting here with all this yarn and patterns.
And retirement.
And a need that I can't go hiking 5 miles yet. So I pulled this out of my stash. So she gave me a couple colors. I said, what color? She said, well, not white or black. I'm trying to expand my palette.
Okay.
And I was thinking that I've got 2 sets of white and black yarn up here. One is like newsprint.
Yeah.
I went, okay. And so she's put navy blue or a lilac. And I pulled this, which is a navy blue with white speckles.
So it's a
be
tweed.
Like a tweed. And I think I have 5 skeins of this.
Okay.
So I've got plenty.
Okay. And how did you, did you send her the different patterns? And she picked the Rivel?
I did. I sent her some patterns. She said, well, I was thinking of something like this. And I said, how about this? You wouldn't have to button it.
Okay. Because
I don't button mine. And she says, I think that would be perfect. Okay. So then she sent me her measurements.
Oh, good.
So we have her measurements. And I told her that I would get started on it next week, that I had the shawl to finish. I had a few things I needed to finish before I started hers. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking of the shawl, the slip extravaganza, and my mother's mittens. Mm-hmm. I will not be finishing the striped sweater before I start this thing. So that's my mother's Christmas presents, which are a must. Mm-hmm. Olivia's done. So I really don't have to do anything else. I don't have to make the pants.
No, but the pants, you keep on...
I love those pants.
You do love those pants. And I mean, her birthday is coming up.
Right.
It could be a birthday.
The Jayden pants look adorable. And, how... It's 1 skein. I can make socks in a week out of 1 skein. I should be able to make a pair of pants for an almost toddler. Yeah, an 11-month-old, 12-month-old in a week. I don't think it would take very much. But we're not doing that right now. We're going to start this probably next Friday. Maybe before that, but I'm thinking by next Friday.
So does this push your artichoke French little further out?
It does, until I get some traction on this. Okay. The good news is this is the reason I got that overhead lamp downstairs.
Right.
Because trying to knit this, and this is the deepest black I could get because I wanted a black sweater. Oh, by the way, this is my other circle sweater. This is the cocoon.
Yes.
And I love it. And of course, this is my dress that I did, number 22 striped dress, which I love. And I have been warm all day. It's been a little warmer today than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was 40-something degrees. I think today it got up to 50, but it was pouring rain. Richard went out to go do something on the boat, and he came back really quickly.
It was kind of fun. We were hoping that he would be below deck, and it'd pass right over him. No.
So what this is Queensland. It is 318 yards. This is sport.
Yeah.
Which is what the Rivel wants.
Right.
Made in Peru. 65% wool, 25% alpaca, 7% acrylic, and 3% viscose. It's supposed to be machine washable, but not dryable. It says dry flat, but it has all the appropriate little symbols. I looked up all the symbols.
Good.
So we will do a test swatch of this and get going from there. So that would be, that's a birthday present. So I know I can get that done. I can get all this done. But what I'm saying is that if you have ideas for Christmas presents, it pays to get them done now, because I think the people out in California?
Knitmores?
The Knitmores say that December should be saved for knitting for yourself, because...
The Grinch along.
Yes, because we put too much pressure on ourselves and make December really awful. The other thing is, we have a postal service that has been rumored to be slowing down. I can't make a comment about that because we're no longer we no longer have a business in the house with Richard's dental office. So there's really nothing that I'm waiting for it to come in, and everything I order through all the various outlets has been, it comes when it comes. There really hasn't been anything I was desperate for. So I haven't paid any attention to the schedule of things from the post office, although my mother is used to sending things, getting down to the post office at 7 a.m., putting something in the mail, and having it arrive the next day here.
She is.
And I'm going, really? I normally allow 3 days, but that's me. But my mother allows 24 hours and is really hurt when they don't arrive in that time. So I guess if we want our mail to come faster, we send my mother like a heat-seeking rocket right into D.C. to explain to the man who is trying to do something to the post office about why this is unacceptable.
Oh, wait, but could we? But could you all have to understand, I love my grandmother, but she is the reason, and when you see her go completely little general, you will
get out of the way.
You get out of the way, and people like who have seen that and who have seen me on a mission completely understand where I get it from.
Oh yeah,
because the
and
three of us do it. Oh,
they say that a crocodile doesn't let go of you once it bites. She won't let go either.
No.
So
no.
Yeah, she would be there every day, all day, explaining to that man why this is unacceptable.
When all of us kids were in college, if we didn't. My grandmother doesn't go to bed until after the 11:30 news,
right.
And she always said that if we needed to, we could give her a call. So, mind you, the woman still doesn't stay on the phone with you more than about 5 minutes.
Oh, 2.
I got her up to 3 this week.
Really?
I know, Tuesday. I was very impressed with myself.
Very impressive.
But we would call her because we knew if anything happened to us, she'd be on the phone to 911 or to the president of whatever university we were at, right then and there.
You were at Belize, right?
No, that was when I was in. Oh yes, I was in Belize. And
yes, and they had screwed up the plane reservations.
Yes.
There was an entire class that was down in Belize. And she called me up with a headache splitting, and I had
been allergied or buttered at our last dinner.
She was in bad shape, and she says, "And but they say they can't fly us out of here."
Yeah. And
I said, "Wait, let's think about this, and get in touch with this, and this, and let me know if it's not fixed in 2 hours, because I'll have your grandmother call the president of the college."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have no doubt that. Whereas the team leader down there may not think it's important enough to get the president of the college involved, I bet my mother will think it's important enough to get the president of the college involved after I've already been chewing his ear. And I think that they will be able to get you out of the country. And really, all they have to do is get you to Texas or
which is what they
New Mexico or something like that, and then you can get home from there.
Yeah. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just was in a lot of pain, and I did not
figured it out within the 2 hours.
Yeah, and I did not have extra medication. Like, I had 1 day extra of medication. I did not have 2 or 3 days extra of medication. And also, that 3rd day, I had an exam that we were all coming back to. So, of course, I'm, like, freaking out because I have a migraine. I've been I've been buttered, so my stomach is all upset. Like, I am in no fit shape. And, like, everyone's trying to be really, really sweet, and I'm just like, no, you all don't understand. Like, I don't have my meds that are keeping me from getting a more severe migraine. I don't have enough of them.
Right.
But they did figure it out. It all ended up being okay. But I just remember being like, oh, okay. It'll be okay. If Nana calls Nana, I'll figure it out.
Backup ammunition here.
Yes.
I'll be more than happy to call the president. I'll have my mother call the president. We'll have a few other people call the president. He'll know that we're concerned about this.
Yes. But yes, we all of us grandkids know that if we really need something,
Grandma will figure out a way.
Yeah. Yes. You just tell Grandma. You never tell her things you're concerned about until you're no longer concerned about them, because she'll call every other day. Yeah.
Which is why I didn't tell my mother about my knee surgery until after it was done. because she would have been calling me every day about, well, you only have, like 2 more days. How do you feel about that? Mom, I'm getting a little nervous here. Back off. Plus, I wasn't sure. I mean, anything could have happened with the surgery. I could have gone in, had a fever. I could have gone in, and something could have happened, and they could have canceled me, and then she would have had another thing to get.
But it didn't.
As long as you can point her in direction, and let her go, she is a heat-seeking rocket. Yes, and it will be great.
Yes. So yeah, that was she's too much. But yeah. If you're doing holiday stuff, get the, like holiday gifting, get that figured out. Mm-hmm. Also, if you're planning on mailing things, plan on mailing things early or late. Like, don't count on being able to mail things the week before and it still get there for Christmas this year. Right. Or Hanukkah. Or Kwanzaa.
Olivia and the pants are local. I can do a drive-by and throw them out the door.
Yeah, I actually might. I'm going to talk with them and see if we can do something.
Well, I mean, we can put them on the front steps and they can be right there and open the door.
We can also figure it out.
Don't need to be invading their space.
No, but we can. There's a thing.
We'll figure it out. They are local. They're within 20 miles.
Yes.
So
what else have you been working on this week?
I don't think there's.
Yes, there is. Did you only bring up this one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we'll just have to tell them.
I did some test swatches. I did one of this, which is a neighborhood
fiber
company.
Laurelville.
Yes.
Lauraville.
And this is the one that she's telling me that needs to go into the wash. So what I had done is I had done wet. 2 test swatches, but flat. And she says, I don't understand why yours looks this way because I had essentially seed stitch. In between the fake...
You had garter.
Right. In between the fake cables. And I said, but read the directions. It says knit, knit, knit. So if you knit both rows or all the rows, it's going to end up looking like that. She goes, Mom, it's supposed to be knit in the round. I went, oh.
She was like, but it's how it's written. I go, yes, it is how it's written, Mom. The pattern is knit in the round. Well, so anyway. That's how you get stockinette. And she goes, you're so smart.
Yeah. And I had done them on the needle that they proposed, which is a 9. And we decided that that was a little airy.
Yes.
A little bit open. So I made this swatch in the round, you'll note, on a size 8. And it's sopping, well, it's not sopping wet, but it is very damp. It is wool, so if I wore it around, it would dry off and it would be fine. And I like it. We like it better.
I like the cable.
I like the cable better. It's not such an airy cable. You can actually see it. It's much more defined. And then I had done one in a cranberry.
Yeah, in the Lisa Souza.
Yeah, and it's so dark that you really don't see the pattern. I think is the problem.
Well, I think it's the toothiness, too, of that yarn.
It just kind of blends in together. So that yarn is for something else, not this. So this, after we stop talking to you all, is going to go down, I think, in the dryer.
Probably.
It doesn't need to go in the washer anymore. So at the moment, it looks like I'll do a size 8 needle and I think a 1 size, maybe... We'll do the math. It's either going to be 1 size larger or 2 sizes larger. Artichoke French. But this will be pushed back beyond the Christmas presents. Because, you know, I want to get them done before, if I can get it done before December, that would be great. If I can finish the Rivel before December, I would be amazed. Absolutely amazed. And then I could finish my striped sweater, and then I could do my artichoke French for me. But we'll see. It will get done. But that's all I'm signing up for in terms of making Christmas presents, because that
anyone else who knows us, you have officially been
given the warning to say don't do that anymore.
You're not allowed to ask for anything because that spot has been filled.
Yes.
Didn't know that there were spots open. Neither did I.
And do you know what I would have asked? Did you order anything this week?
No, but I got my I got my stitch markers from One Geek to Craft Them All from Indian Tangled Everywhere.
Nice.
That's a little laptop. There you go. You can see it now. So it's a
Yeah.
laptop, a sheepy, a maple leaf, and a skein of yarn.
I like progress keepers because then I can clip them on.
I do too, but I also just...
I love movable... I use them as movable stitch markers.
Yeah, they were so pretty.
And they're so pretty. You know,
So,
I just would have to put them on a removable stitch
or
marker.
she has them as crochet markers too. And then
Oh!
I got the Indian Tangled special
there you go.
earrings from Yasmin.
Very pretty.
From Designs by Yasmin.
Very pretty.
I really love these. I'll probably wear these a whole bunch because I already wear my others a whole bunch.
Very nice.
And then I forgot to talk about the thing that's in this, but I got my RBG bag from Nerdbird Makery. This is from her first run. I ended up not being in a meeting or like just getting out of a meeting when that almost went live, and I somehow got one in the hullabaloo that was the sellout in like a minute. So it has RBG's descent collar.
Her lace collar. Her
descent collar. And then on the inside it says, it has a quote by RBG that is, fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. And it's got 2 pockets on the inside, and it's made of this beautiful canvas.
Oh, it's very sturdy.
Yeah. So
very, very sturdy.
I started on Wednesday during knit night. I started my Love Witch. So this is the collar to it. It does fit over my head. I have tested that. So now I will go into the body. But it might be what I work on Wednesdays at knit night. I probably won't bring it with me, but it might be something I work on during my quarantine, because I do want to get that done, because then I think I could wear that dress throughout the fall and winter. Yes. But other than that, it's mostly been sewing this weekend,
you know
at least.
Tanya did on Thursday night when we were having our knit talk. I did the same thing.
You ordered yarn?
I did.
What yarn did you order?
1600 Pennsylvania.
You did order 1600 Pennsylvania?
DK.
Oh.
Yes, and I have a sweater picked out for it.
Oh, what sweater?
Well, it's in my queue, at the back of my queue.
All right, let's go take a look.
It's at the very last page.
Okay.
And it's a color right there, that one.
The Yoked Pullover by Sandi Rosner. It's from Vogue Knitting.
Yes.
It's very pretty.
Isn't it?
What are you going to use as the contrast?
Well, since 1600 pen is so dark, I think it needs to be a light color to be the contrast. And so I've got a couple choices. I've got whatever this is. You know what? I've got this Tencel. That might be an interesting contrast.
Yeah. Is it DK?
I had it in DK. 4 ounces and 257 yards.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 of those. So I think that this
that's really pretty.
Would be a pretty contrast with 1600.
Yeah.
So I haven't done anything on my fingering 1600 that I had started. I actually do have the cast on and 1 row, but that's all I have. But I did at least have a pattern.
Oh, and the reason that this came up was because I was showing it off to
Oh my God, she was waxing rhapsodic.
Because it is one of the most perfect purples, and you only have
now
3 more days, I think, to get it. So if you're gonna get it, do it.
At least I didn't get more fingering. I got different, and I have a pattern for it to go in. Oh, and we left something downstairs. I left my advent calendar downstairs.
Oh no!
I ordered an advent calendar from Lanivendole.
Lanivendole?
Yeah. They are two Italian women that are hand dyers who I met on Indie Untangled, and she was having Friday interviews.
Yes.
And so we actually got to ask them questions, and I said, I've been in Italy, and I've been from Milan down to Naples in Italy, and I have found it very difficult to find hand-dyed yarn. Mm-hmm. Am I just looking in the wrong places? And they went, no. Unless you know somebody, it can be very difficult to find yarn. I mean, I finally found a yarn shop in Rome with this lovely woman in the shop, and it was really an all handicrafts store. I mean, I bought 2 needle points that I haven't finished. I've started one, haven't even touched the other one. Bought 2 needle points. I bought yarn. Bought a couple things in there. I think I've used the yarn. But it was an all handicrafts kind of shop. And she didn't speak English. I had very rudimentary Italian, mostly French. And yet, she was lovely. Absolutely lovely. But the Lanivendole ladies said, yeah, it can be very difficult. And yet, here they are. They're a hub of haberdashery. There's a hub of clothing. They do a lot in woolens. Lana Plano yarns. I mean, they make beautiful cardigans out of that and then ship them over here and they're like $2,000. I mean, it's amazing. They have fine Italian woolens, but you can't, or I can't find them.
But also then they said that they can't find them either.
Right, and it's one of the reasons why they started dyeing yarn. So, when I saw on Indie Untangled newsletter, thank you, that they were creating an advent calendar, I decided that I would order one to support them. Indie Untangled also has a box.
They did. They've sold out.
I saw the note and I said, I've got one advent calendar that was supported by Indie Untangled. I don't need to support everybody on Indie Untangled who's doing an advent calendar. I'm up to here in minis.
I did it.
Yeah, so she did it.
Well, because it said jewel tones, and Shamika designed the image, and it was just such a pretty image.
Very pretty. Very pretty. I'm not saying it's
no, I know. But I'm just like, you know what? It happens.
It happens. It's like the 1600 pen. It just happened. So yes, as I'm talking to our friends online on Thursday, got my website thing open. When you said, "Oh, you look like you're looking at things."
Oh yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm just checking a few things out here."
Oh okay. Oh okay. Good to know. Good to know.
I'm sure that will be
winging its way to you.
Winging its way, and I don't know if I told you all. Indy had a coupon code for mustache yarns, and I checked them last week, and there wasn't anything. Then I checked them again on Tuesday night,
which was good because
she updates her shop. I found out on Tuesday. I had no clue. So there were 2 colors that she had on hand, and socks. I only do a 1 skein pair of socks. I don't do knee socks at the moment. I've never done knee socks. So, and I love working with her yarn because, I don't know, I just get so excited about the color change. I want to, I'll keep knitting, let me wait till the yellow comes through, or no, I want to wait till the navy blue comes through, or something like that. I mean, it's silly mind games that I'm playing, but
they're your silly mind games.
And I'm wearing them like crazy. So, and then I bought a blue that's not going to have, stripes, but it's going to be more like a night sky or a ocean with little pops of color through it. So from what I can tell from the website anyway, I got the notice that said it's been shipped, so it should be here shortly. So I should be able to show it to you all when we're next podcasting. And by that time 1600 pen should probably be here too, because they had it on hand.
I know they dyed mine.
They said they had 15 skeins.
Right. Those are just the bare skeins,
the naked skeins?
Yeah.
All right. So.
Because mine took a little while to get here.
There were 15 skeins. I ordered 6.
Yeah. I ordered only 5.
Since I don't usually work with DK, I wasn't quite sure how much a sweater quantity would be.
Well, it's good then. Then we have enough that we can, schmooze.
Yes, you owe me some anyway. That'll teach you to take my purple. Anyway,
you said I could.
I know, but now maybe I need it for my
just
sleeve. I think I've gotten into enough trouble this week. And no, I haven't finished my other cannon cross stitch. I'm trying to get all this knitting stuff done. I picked up that Stephen West thing where I had no business doing it, but now I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And I'm getting it done within the time frame, which is nice.
My goal is to have it done by end of year.
Okay. But I just want to get it done because I had a couple sweaters for me that I wanted to make. And
I think because I have a plane flight or 2.
Right.
So I
probably don't until January.
Till at least January. I don't think you'll convince Father by then.
Probably not, but I got him looking.
I know you did. Very impressed.
I am too. I am too. He's made a spreadsheet and everything.
He has.
So
he asked for help with the spreadsheet.
But I think we'll probably have something by next summer. So
probably.
I think he's ready.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. I think he's realized that we're not going out on the edge anymore. We can sail flat and be comfortable. What an idea.
What?
And, we apparently can survive some really nerve-wracking storms with a catamaran since we did. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
so yes, I'm wearing all my knitted things, but it's because our house is semi insulated.
I was going to say semi-insulated.
It was it was built and inhabited in 1956. In 1956, there wasn't such a big focus on insulation.
True.
They did insulate more than the average bear. If you remember Yogi the bear. They did have insulation in this house, but it's nothing like what we would have put in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. So there is a temperature difference between where the thermometer is and the window. But anyway, not complaining. I've got warm woolens.
I turned on my electric blanket on my bed.
I've been turning it on for weeks. Absolute weeks, not a problem. I think that's about it. I'm gonna I have the pattern for the Jayden pants. I will probably print that out, not until I finish the slip stravaganza. And I'm gonna go back downstairs and I'm going to work on that. I should be able to finish color 2 and probably, the dark navy sugar, the dark gray stripe that goes over it tonight. And 2 more days, tonight, tomorrow night, and then Tuesday is election day. So if you haven't voted during early voting, I was going to bring my little sticker up.
I know, I forgot.
I voted early.
Me too. And Dad did too. We were very
right.
surprised. We thought he was going to be an election day holdout for the family.
I ended up taking my walker because it has a removable seat on it. So I took the seat with me, and I basically sat there. I made two friends. It was drippy. I wore my foul weather gear jacket, and I was fine. I had a seat. There's no way I could have stood an hour on my leg or my new knee. I knew that was an impossibility, and I tried out my cane seat, and the seat is so low on it, I couldn't get up. And as the line would move, I would have fallen off the cane seat, which would not have been optimal.
No.
So the walker worked out really well, and the line went really fast once they opened up the doors. So that was fine. I made some friends online, so that was lovely.
Did you bring any knitting with you while you were online?
No, I was going to read my book. I took out my phone to start the book, and the lady behind me started talking to me. Oh. And she was socially distanced.
Yeah.
And she said something, I can't remember what she said, and I said, something about Well, I came prepared for the one, but I can't stand because I had my knee done 5 weeks ago. I had both of them done 3 years ago. So we talked about knees for a good long while. And, it was lovely. We really had a good time.
Yeah, and I don't think I waited. But that was because I was
properly set up for waiting. I did see on the news that there are people making money being line waiters.
People who previously, before the pandemic, were waiting in lines for
tickets
for
shows and things like that, now have this week started being line waiters for people who want to vote but don't want to wait hours and hours and hours. And that one guy, he had such a cute little pop-up tent, and he was in there. It was a clear-sided tent, and he had his chair, and he would get to the line if the voting opened at 9. He was there at 4 in the morning, and then he would call the person that he was line sitting for, I guess 10-15 minutes before everything was going to start, or whenever they had said, call me and I'll be there. And yeah, so, and he had a certain amount of money that he charged per hour. How cool. I could have a new job.
No, Mom.
Me and my walker seat.
Oh my God.
It wasn't that cold last Monday. It has gotten a little chilly, a little damp, although by the end of the week it's supposed to get warmer. And I don't think we have anything else to really talk about. So everybody vote, stay safe, wear your face mask, don't touch your face, wash your hands. So far, we've been okay. So I'm hoping that all of you have been okay and will continue to be okay.
And we'll talk to y'all later.
Bye-bye.